Hey, Get Speaking Gigs family. Hey, it is my birthday. I am, super excited, yes, indeed, to be circling this sphere of fire one more time. This is a video that we're going to kind of talk about my speaking birthday, how I got my first paid speaking gig, right? Way back in 2009. We're going to take that journey, rewind that tape, stick around, how I booked my first paid speaking gig. The year was 2009. I was a performing magician and just had a second baby. Realized very, very quickly that I cannot be doing 300 shows a year and be a father to my two girls. I now have a son, so that is two girls and a son as well. And, it is taxing to be working hard at a job. And magic was like a job for me. And many of you have that experience of trying to balance work and life, and all you want to do is have this side hustle called speaking become paid and paid well enough where you don't have to grind, you don't have to hustle. One gig, $15,000-$20,000 will set you up for a good solid month, and hey, maybe even longer. So how did I do it? How did I transition from novelty to necessity, from magician to keynote speaker? Well, I will say this. It was trial and error. I kind of just tried to figure it out. And I have since developed a system. I have since taught my system. And, having seen so many people go through this process, really dialed it in to what works in 2023, post-COVID, not like 2009 when I was doing it. But here's the truth. We're going to go back into the past, and we're going to talk about this on the day of my own birthday. So it was 2009. I had actually hired somebody because I needed to do a bunch of free speeches, right? That was my thinking, is that if I do enough free speeches, people will see me speak and they will want me to speak at other events. Oh, it's a brilliant idea. No one's ever thought of it before. People will tell you, if you speak at our event for free, you'll get a lot of exposure, and you'll be tempted to tell them, I know, but people die from exposure. So do I really want exposure? And do I really want the kind of exposure that doing a free gig will get me? The only thing a free gig will lead to is another free gig. Yeah, if you do it wrong. If you do it wrong. So I learned over time to not only speak for free, but to do so intentionally, on purpose, strategically, so that I was able to reach not only the people in the room, but everybody that they knew, so that I could create and build my network and connect with more people who had the ability and the funds to hire me as their speaker. So what did I do? Went around, spoke for free to anybody who would hear me, worked on my craft, right? Step one, get good. Not great. Can't get great until you get gigs. Get good, get gigs. That's how you get great. You get great through experience. So get good. For me, I was performing on stage a lot. So I had the ability to stand on stage and engage an audience. Whether or not my topic was top notch, whether or not it was relevant, whether or not it was even clear, I didn't understand how to position myself with my topic, all right? But it's good enough if you're good. You see, if people don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. And if you can create an engaging experience, if you can pull on their heartstrings, if you can make them laugh, if you can make them think, then perhaps you can get them to say, hey, this person would be a great fit for our event. So sure enough, that happened. I was performing my speeches, right? Really leaning heavily on my magic and throwing in some messages here and there about the power of influence and the importance of being able to use, magic words to communicate more effectively in such a way that creates influence for leaders or salespeople. I didn't know who I was talking to. I was talking to everybody, anybody, right? So that is, a lesson that I take away is, hey, you know what? I got lucky because I was an entertaining speaker and I was engaging on stage. I don't get paid now to be entertaining. I would never be able to have been able to raise my fees to the level they're at now if I didn't have a clear message. So I would recommend earlier the better. So if step one is get good, step two is get clear, right? In fact, if you can flip flop those, if you can get clear before you get good, that's even better. So know what your message is. Go out there, and I spoke. This is, again, I'm just sort of telling you my story in this video. I've given you the steps in other videos. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those steps. Make sure you hit the little bell so you know when I'm live, because I go live different times, but every single day. So also don't forget to visit getspeakinggigs.com for a free mini course on exactly how to do this process that I'm describing, but updated for 2023, not for 2009. All right. So somebody finally said, hey, Tim, we're having an event. We just saw you speak at the local, Kiwanis Club or the local Rotary Club. Again, I was just speaking for free anywhere that would have me. And we saw you speak, and we're having our association's annual meeting. So what did I do? I got really excited. And I put together a proposal package that was to die for. There were folders with gold leaf. They were printed proposals with beautiful linen paper. There were business cards with gold paper clips attached to that folder. I would even include a DVD that had the company's logo or the association's logo printed on the outside of the DVD. I had a little DVD printer. I just happened to be, printing DVDs because I was selling magic tricks to magicians, and that was how we would do that. So I went all out. I wanted to make an impression. Now, Dan Kennedy, one of my marketing mentors, told me that this is called a shock and awe package. You blow them away with value, with just, you impress them with testimonials. So I had a book that was like 35 reasons why you would want to hire Tim David. And it's 35 testimonials. Maybe that's all I had at the time. Now, if you speak at one gig, you might gather 15, 20 testimonials. So, especially at a Rotary Club or something like that, where there's different companies represented, suddenly you've got, testimonials from this company and that company and this company. And you can take them all, put them in a book, bind them up, print them out, and say, these are 35 reasons why people recommend that, you hire Tim David. So it's social proof. It's the reciprocity, where I'm including gifts. I was including little free books of quotes and all kinds of cool stuff. That proposal impressed them enough where they wrote me a check for $1,000. Actually, it was $997. And that is how I booked my first paid speaking gig. Spoke for free, got an inquiry, got overexcited, spent I don't know how much time and money too, putting together a physical package that was mailed in a box and sent to the person who had expressed some interest. And then, of course, I did my follow-up, and I checked back, and I was a good little sales boy. And there you go. That is how I booked my first paid gig. And that is a process. That is one of the paths up the mountain that I teach people now. Now, a lot of people don't like to do free speaking. And there are other paths that people don't like, right? Nobody loves doing cold calling or cold emailing, where you're just banging out email after email, and you're copying and you're pasting, and it's a grind, and you're playing the numbers game. That is a path up the mountain, right? I say there are many paths up the mountain, but we just want to avoid the psychopaths. And to me, why would you spend so much time, energy, and effort on a process that is proven to be ineffective? It has been proven to be ineffective by many speakers before you, but maybe even by you. Maybe you've tried sending out cold outreach. Maybe you've tried filling out calls for speakers. Maybe you've tried and tried and tried and run into brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. So cold outreach is not even on my list. It's not even on my radar. None of my clients engage in cold email outreach. It is not the best way, or maybe even a good way to get speaking gigs. Now, you do have to have conversations, right? Conversations is where speaking gigs come from. When someone sees you speak, you know why I did free speeches? Because I didn't have a website. I didn't have a demo video. I didn't have fancy clients or letters after my name. I hadn't written any books yet. I didn't have any reason why anybody would hire me. I needed them to see it for themselves. So I have in the past done free speaking gigs. In the past, I have created my own speaking gigs and rented out a room and invited people and then brought a camera. I have done all kinds of tricks and ways to get people to see me speak so that they can initiate a conversation. Hey, Tim, you're engaging on stage, right? You ever been told you should be a professional speaker? Holy cow. Like you've got a great speaking voice, or you've got a great stage presence, or you really, are funny. You should do this more. You should do this for a living. And people told me that, and I really, of course, took that to heart. Right, I took that to heart because that is true. That is one of the reasons why speakers are hired, is because they're engaging, or they're interesting, or they're fun, or they're new, or they're unique. And the other big part of the reason that they get hired is because their message is relevant and timely and important and valuable to that organization. Do both? Whoo! Deliver an important message in an engaging way. Watch out. Watch out. And then add in incredible marketing strategy, consistent, powerful marketing strategy on top of that. Like, yo, get out of the way. Get out of the way. That is what the most successful speakers are doing. They are combining a great delivery with a great message and great marketing. Now, if you don't have any of those, you got to start somewhere. And the way that you get great is by doing gigs. So I just want to encourage you again here today on my birthday. This is now, what is that? 13 years later, 14 years later, right? It was late 2009. In fact, my first gig didn't happen until 2010, June of 2010. Never forget it. And I even get it on video recording. And anybody who's invested in some of my courses, like the Your Signature Speech course, I show the whole video of my first speech, and it's embarrassing. Yes, it's not good, correct. And I do so because many people look at their speakers that they admire, or they look at speakers who have quote unquote made it, and they're professional speakers, and they think somehow that they were always that good. And I think it's really important to show the process, right? Show the process. That's why I am doing this 5 months to $500,000 challenge. And every single day I am documenting what I'm doing, what is working, what isn't working, the exact proposals I'm sending out. In fact, today I just sent out a 10-page proposal with a possible 6-figure deal waiting for me. So that might show up in my email inbox as somebody saying yes to a potential 6-figure deal any minute now. But I'm going to I share that exact proposal that I sent out, all of the details, everything that I do behind the scenes in my speaking business, including turning 43 and talking about how I'm kind of unmotivated and it feels kind of crappy because it's kind of snowy out and I'm feeling old, right? Even all the emotional stuff that goes into, being a speaker and the ups and the downs. I had a client just email saying me, just got off stage. It was a rough gig and I need you to talk me off the ledge. And, I think documenting and showing the process and not just the outcome is so important for new speakers. So if that is you, if you are looking out there looking to get your first paid speaking gig as well, join us, jump in the pool. The water is fine. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Get good, get gigs, then get great. In fact, along the way, you might even get paid. In fact, I hope that is part of the process because it is worth it. All right, that is it for me. We'll speak soon tomorrow, in fact.